Hi, this is Blake from Blackwave Audio. Today I would like to show you how to export an AAF from Final Cut Pro using a workaround. As we all know that Final Cut Pro 10 does no longer support the exporting of OMFs. We didn't even get to the point where they even introduced AAF. But there are workarounds, but none of them are actually cheap. You have to have other pieces of software to assist you to export an AAF. So what you will need in terms of software is, obviously if you have Final Cut Pro, that's great. Then you'll need to also purchase Logic Pro 10, okay? So Logic Pro 10 is a DAW, Digital Audio Workstation, or a software that you use for music production and recording audio. That will assist you then in exporting AAF. That's because Logic Pro supports importing and exporting AAF. Cool. So let's go to Final Cut Pro. Okay. If you want to export an AAF, the first step to doing that is to go to File and say Export XML. So you want to export XML. When you export a XML from Final Cut Pro, Logic Pro can read it and relink all the files that are written in the XML, and then it gives you the ability to work with the audio in Logic. Okay, so we're going to export XML and we're going to save it over here. So I prefer having my settings set to audio because we want to focus on the audio. Okay, cool. So I'm going to save that. Now replace that. Cool. It takes 2 seconds for it to export, okay, depending on how complex your project is. So now we're going to head over to Logic. Now create a new project. Cool. And it will ask you to create a new track. Cool. So then you say create the track. It doesn't matter. We're going to ignore that. Then you're going to head over to File, Import XML. You see there's AAF over there. That's because it does support the importing of AAFs. Cool. So then I'm going to press there on the XML and select the XML from Final Cut and import that. So it's going to want to change my sample rate to 48, say OK, and it will start importing the audios. I want to extract them so that we will be able to use that. So normally what you would want to do in Logic is, because they support one another, you then export your video from Final Cut, import it this side, and continue working. Cool. So there we have our audio there. Now what we want to do is export this. Let's delete this track over there first. What we want to do is export this as AAF. So we'll head over to File and then we'll say Export and Project as AAF. Okay, cool. So it's going to ask us where to save it. So I'll head over to Audio because that's where I normally save stuff. And I'll go to Other, and very important, create a new folder. And then you'll say, let's just say for this example, AAF export. Okay. Now, unlike Pro Tools, Logic unfortunately does not do embedded AAFs. Hopefully that's a feature that they'll add in the future, but they don't do it. So unfortunately here, you have to create a folder where it will contain both the audio files folder and the AAF reference file. Okay, so you have your AAF reference file that will refer to audio files that are saved in a different folder. Embedded AAF would be where the audio files are inside the AAF file. Okay, cool. So we're gonna rename our AAF and say AAF export. Cool, and we save that. So it's gonna copy all the audio files to that folder that we have just created. Cool, so it's done. And now that it's done, we are going to go to the folder where we saved the project, AAF export. There's our AAF, you see. This over here is a reference AAF, Okay, so it will refer to these audio files here. See, compress or zip your audio file. So then when you have saved your zip file, then you take your zip file and send that. My advice is, so that you don't lose anything, create a zip file from the folder and send it over to your engineer. Thank you so much for joining me. Please remember to subscribe and turn on the notifications to receive the videos as soon as I post them. Thank you very much and enjoy your day.